In this video, I'm going to show you how to tune mesh drum skins on an electronic drum kit. Now, there are a couple of mistakes that can be made which are easy to avoid when you're tuning electronic drum skins. The first of which is actually to tune them too loosely. Of course, we are going for feel, but we want to make sure that we're not going to encounter any double triggering issues which we get when the skin is too loose. So we want to make sure that we've got enough tension on it, but let's talk about how we actually tune them to make them feel as realistic and accurate to an acoustic kit as possible. When we tune an acoustic kit, generally we'll feel quite a big difference in the tension of the skin on the snare drum to, let's say, the high tom and eventually the floor tom. The floor tom will tend to have the least tension and tend to be the loosest, and that's something that we're going to actually try and replicate here on my Roland TD30. So I'm going to start with the snare drum, and all I'm going to do is get my drum key, and I'm just going to maybe bring it up, let's say, a quarter of a turn on each one. I'm going to go opposites, and I'm not going to go too crazy with it. Just going to bring them all up just a little bit, and obviously we can't hear the tuning on this, as I said earlier, because it's electronic and that's going to be controlled by the brain, but we're just looking to make it feel as much like a real snare drum, or I should say acoustic snare drum, as possible. Let's have a little bit of a play at that. So to me now that feels a lot more like a snare drum than it did when I had the skin looser before. Now, one thing I would suggest is to actually avoid making them too taut, because otherwise they become really unrealistic. They become so bouncy that when you get back on an acoustic kit, you feel like you can't play as fast almost. You feel like the electronic kit has been doing too much of the work for you. And obviously, we're trying to go for realism. It kind of goes too far the other way. So just be careful that you don't over tighten them, because of course these mesh skins can take a lot more tension than a plastic one, and you just don't need to do it. So after you've done your snare drum, the next thing to do naturally would be to do the high tom, mid tom, floor tom, second floor tom if you've got one, just like I have. And I would actually go just a little bit less tension consecutively on each one. That's going to give you the most realistic feel. So as I say, there's not a lot to this. It's fairly straightforward. Definitely something you can have a go at even if you've never tuned an acoustic kit or an electronic kit before. I hope you found it useful. Please consider subscribing if you want some more electronic drum tips, and make sure you watch this video if you want to find out some more of the advantages of owning an electronic kit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now.